Hi, it's Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about two things that narcissistic men do. Now, that's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, but yeah. And the first one is about hobbies, okay? Now, and crazy making. What I've noticed about men with narcissistic behaviors is that they always have some kind of a hobby. Now, that hobby can be that they're a workaholic, and they make their work their hobby, and everything else comes as secondary to whatever it is that they need to do for that job, and that is, if they work, of course. Now, they could make a workaholic kind of attitude about their hobby also. I know that doesn't make much sense, but in that they see it as important as a job, a paying job. Say they do some kind of sports coaching for, a little league or something like that, a soccer team, and they're not paid for it. It's for kids, and they're not paid for it. They do it for free. But it is as important to them as a job. And everybody else, everything else, their own family, everything is secondary to that. If at all, secondary. They might say, well, they're just too tired. They've done enough. They work hard and all that. Okay, another thing is that in their hobbies, they might say that their hobby is to crazy make you. Do crazy making on you. They just sit there and they pick on you and pick on you and pick on you. Think about, it always makes me think of somebody who just keeps poking you. When I was young, my brother kept doing that, poking me on my upper arm with his finger. We were sitting at a bank, and my mom went in the bank and left me and my siblings in the car, and he just kept doing that, and I'd say quit, and he'd keep doing it. And at some point, you just kind of, okay, I've tolerated as much as I can, and you say something, and it's hilarious. To them it's hilarious, and they love to do it. They don't care if it's public or private. That's what I've seen. They love to do it, and they get a thrill out of it. And it's like they make that their hobby, or maybe even their job, as they see it, to do this. As if they have to do this, to get their supply, to get their cheap thrill. That's what they do, and it seems like it just fills them up. They have managed to take someone and push them to, over their limit. To make them just act like crazy, like they're crazy. When really, that's projection. Okay. Yeah. Now, number two. For number two, say that they are workaholics. They actually have a job that's paying, and you wonder, like if they're on salary and they work from home. After hours, they work from home. They're always, doing work. But what is it really? Is it they're really working? That they're really working all that time, or is it that their mind is not that? They don't do it right in the first place, so they have to do it, again, or they have to change it. Something, that is just not right, so it takes them longer to do it. And the biggest thing of that is that I have seen is that they're lazy. So, pardon me, something is back there roaming around in the back of my SUV. But it is that they're lazy. Okay, this is mainly number two, is that they're lazy. And more of that they do things, the term people use is half-assed. Okay, they don't finish the job. They start it, they leave it there, and just don't finish it. And I've mentioned this recently, in fact, I think. And an example would be like, how you have a loaf of bread, and you open it up and you get a piece of bread. You either tie it back or fold it over, whatever you do. But these that I have seen won't do that. They get their bread and they leave it open. They don't care if it goes stale. They got what they wanted. That's all that matters to them. But it's really because they're lazy. More like everyday kind of examples. But you get the gist of it. Or if they go into a room, they don't turn the lights off. Okay, they don't need to. And sometimes they actually think that it's your responsibility to go behind them and do these things. You have more than one lock on your door, maybe two, bolt and something else. They'll only lock one, if that one. sometimes you can find that they haven't locked it at all. I don't know anywhere you live these days that not locking your doors is a safe thing. But you get the gist. They don't do it to the max. Unless, of course, it's something that they really need. Like they go and, put gas in their car. If they're the only one that's driving it, whatever kind of automobile it is, if they're the only one that's driving it, they'll fill it up because they don't want to have to go back another time. Okay, they're really just, it's laziness, but cheap with their time is how I've always seen. They're very cheap. Okay, that would be a number 3, but I'm only doing 2. But it's really cheap with their time. Their time is, for their hobbies. Okay. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. Now, have you seen this? If you want to leave a comment below how you've seen it, feel free to do so. Make it family friendly. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would, and I'll talk to you all in another video. Bye.